the time. Your gateway to the world. AFR. American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is November 14, 2013. Hope you all had an awesome day. It is that time. Thursday. We are joined by Saint Toby, one Kenobi, otherwise known as Tobias Lars, or I think that's what his parents call him. He is the author of one of my favorite books, Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, as well as a personal awakening coach and the creator of spiritualtravelers.com. Check it out. They've got some nice adventures coming up here, swimming with the dolphins in Hawaii and the manatees in Florida. Of course, if that doesn't turn you on, you can go hang out with the wolves in Zuniland, or, do an ayahuasca journey, or maybe even Egypt. Again, the website is spiritualtravelers.com, or his main website is soulcounseling.com. You can link to everything else he's up to, like Course of Awakening, which has his teleseminars every Sunday, or innerbodyawakening.com, which I've found to be extremely beneficial for me in my growth. But tonight we are going to finish, I think last week we began a bitch session. Like in the last segment, getting real to heal, feeling our shadows, the real spiritual journey. So we're going to continue that. What's the meaning of all this crap, this stupid life? Why are we stuck on this stupid rock spinning in wheels in the rat cage, feeling our eons of suppressed stuff? What does the real spiritual awakening look like? The murderous rage, bottomless pits of hopelessness and despair and wanting to have my soul extinguished? Nope. I don't know anything about that. However, if you would like to join us, our beautiful, happy little soul family, in the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. And any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call tonight, 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And woo! Happy Thursday! Good to have you here tonight, Tobias. How are you doing?
Well, having you read, the heavy stuff, it's kind of cognitive dissonance with the happy soul family there.
Well, we can be happy and be, getting real and going on a murderous rage at the same time, can't we?
Some people like that.
Yeah. We're a little bipolar here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tripolar.
Tripolar. I'll try anything. Yeah, let's do it.
Have you been drinking your pee lately? Speaking of trying anything?
I do drink my pee.
Nice. Every day?
No, not all the time. Like, I do it intuitively. I'd say, I don't know when, maybe about 8 years ago, it surfaced sort of in my reality, this ancient method of Shiva, the god of basically one of the main of the Trinity gods of the Hindu tradition, the Vedic tradition, the ultimate yogi, speaks about it in one of their sutras there, the Amaroli, I forget what they call it, Shiva Kalpa or something. So I studied that a few years ago, and I'm like, really? Is this really what I have to do?
Yeah.
But So I go through phases of it. I do it intuitively. I'd say I probably do it twice a year, but I'm not a strict regimen. If you place your power in anything outside you, you're going to be taught that really the power resides inside yourself, meaning all things you place outside faith in will betray you. All things that you place your power outside of yourself in will betray you, i.e., so you can do it all perfect. You can be you can be wild-crafted raw vegan, okay? Mm-hmm. You can do, the ultimate yogic breath meditations, Kriya Yoga. You can drink, do the urine therapy. You can do all of it correctly. But if you don't heal the heart, your feelings, your emotions, and your heart. And it seems like this lifetime, I'm really on a one track thing about getting us to feel our feelings, our emotions, and our hearts and our beings, our energies, basically feel them instead of think about them. So you can do it all correctly.
Ah, that's good. Feel them, don't think about them. I make the mistake of feeling them and freaking thinking about them. Big time, getting that mind prison trap.
And since we haven't been taught this, it's kind of the new last frontier. And I heard this years ago, and in my book, I don't know if I had so much stuff, I had to take some chapters out, but because I didn't want, how people feel, oh no, it's 400 pages, I ain't reading that brick. So I had to reduce it to about 200 pages, and short, simple. People really say nice things about it. I love how you write it, Tobias. Just one paragraph with one heading. I can I get it. It's not like, each chapter is 2 to 3, 4 pages. But I mentioned in there something that I just forgot now. See, random access memory. There we go.
You were talking about drinking your pee.
Yeah, but you can do all the final frontier. That's what we were talking about. The final frontier is not space, outer space. Boring as hell. Three-dimensional, it's not boring, but I mean, traveling to Mars and Neptune and, these places in our solar system, Venus, Mercury, in our 3D reality is going to be very inhospitable and very not a good time. We have to crack the dimensions. We have to crack the true inner Stargate dimensions, where Jesus is right now, where Krishna is right now, where Buddha is right now, where you are when we dream at night. Dimensional Stargate, our personal Stargate travel, that's the real final frontiers. The final frontier is not outer space, but inner space. And because when you go inner space, all these things open up to you. You all of a sudden start seeing into the David kingdom, or being able to what happens on ayahuasca journeys, you can actually have this happen in real life, quote unquote. Ayahuasca journeys is just sort of, hey, see these other 6 dimensions over here, see this time tunnel, look at this Einstein-Rosenheim, whatever they call it, Einstein-Rosenberg bridge. You can travel down these spiraling tunnels into other dimensions. Now, yogis, masters, and it comes automatically on heart devotees like St. Francis and St. Teresa, these dimensions start opening up. That's why St. Teresa would go into, literally, her heart would stop, her breathing would stop, and she'd be frozen for like a week at a time. Because she was, quote, in her words, I'm visiting with my Lord. I still get creeped out by that name because it's been so misused. The Lord, praise the Lord. I get icky feelings all over me. Because the Lord can be the other guy, too. Yeah?
I'm going to go take a shower in urine. Yeah. Gotta wash that Lord shit off of me.
She's, and it's done sweetly and by many, many people. I'm going to shock maybe some people that are used to my rantings here on Thursdays, but I watch PTL sometimes, praise the Lord, with Jan and Paul Crouch out of Santa Ana, wherever the hell they are.
Is that a TV show or something? PTL?
Yeah, it's a huge Christian network all over the planet. And I have to say, there are messages that come through by the, quote, Holy Spirit Kundalini everywhere. It doesn't really respect or care what packaging you put on it. So there are some people on there that are getting direct messages. Now they interpret it and put it into their particular framework. Just like a yogi would say it this way, a South American shaman would say the same thing this way. And the Christian interpreter, a fully Holy Spirit-filled Christian, would interpret it a certain way. And that's why I get along with those people often. I've met Spirit-filled Christians where we're like on the same path completely. We connect. I meet a Catholic charismatic woman a few years ago on the plane back from Hawaii, and we were like brother and sister. Now, I have to still be a little bit careful, to bring in Shiva or these guys because they tend to freak out at serpent iconography and stuff like that. But anyway, there is a place where we all meet. There is a palace, a place where we all meet. There's a place where white gossamer joins black leather. It's a place called forever. There is a palace where we all meet. But current situation on Earth is, we are severely divided and conquered. And we're going to talk about tonight some more of what happens when you try to integrate these multiple dimensions. When you start integrating, it's spiritual physics, really, because when you've been locked down in a certain dimensional prison, when you start coming out of that, there's fearful monsters, guardians at these gates that are going to try to scare you back into your box. Okay? And in a way, this is their job. It's because if you can't see through them, then that horrible-looking demonic creature is reflecting your fear back at you. But once you see through it, they become your ally, just like a pit bull or a gargoyle. You know, pit bulls are the sweetest dogs, you know, but we reflect our fear off of them, because if you cut their ears a certain way and they have that big smile on their ear, like, holy, that can be very scary. And if you tap into them, they're actually these cute little gargoyle spirits. Many dogs are. And they are guardians. But they can be fierce, and they can be super sweet. Well, that's what these stargates are too. As the bigger you go, these dimensional gateways, the universe is very perfectly run. Every hair on your head, every sparrow, every blade of grass, every photon in the universe is accounted for. God is the ultimate accountant. All you accountants, I want you to bow down right now and go, I ain't nothing. Because everything is accounted for perfectly. Every photonic thought, every thought that is just about to happen is already known by the source of all that is. And we can do that same thing. But if you want these powers, or if you want these abilities to come to you, the quickest way is to simply love God. To, like I mentioned last week, I think, or maybe it was on our class. We do our teleclass at 10 a.m. California time and 1 p.m. New York time on Sundays. It's a class we do where you can just call in and listen in. But I think I talked about the easiest way to get access to all of the universe is to be a child of the universe. Just like JFK, it's his anniversary of his shooting. 50 years, unbelievable, November 23rd. And they're, you know, let's not go into that, because that's like a whole... That's a whole nother
We've
dimension.
done those shows, yeah.
Archives. But those beautiful pictures of him with John JFK Jr., I think I mentioned it last week, the way you get access to your daddy or your mommy of the whole universe, you can go and John could go in the kitchen with mommy. He had a full stage access pass anywhere in the White House. Daddy's in the Oval Office, those beautiful pictures of him playing under daddy's desk. You know? Now, what do you think Daddy, in this case JFK, here's his choice. Mr. President, we have J. Edgar Hoover here. He is here for his appointment. Yeah, that J. Edgar Hoover, huh? The one that's keeping secret files on you and hates you, and actually will be part of the plot to assassinate you because he thinks you're a moral, disgusting, immoral fiber. Never mind that he's a cross-dresser and a closeted homosexual himself. Yeah, that guy, he's here to see you, Mr. President. Or... your son, John, wants to come and kiss you. Which would you choose?
Yeah, right after he drank pee.
Which would you choose? I choose my little son to come see me, or my little Gabby, even if she eats the cat poop. As long as I don't know too much about it, I'll let her kiss me. Right? Because we love our kids. Well, the source of the universe loves us. That's why teachers for the masses like Krishna and Jesus, they try to go, love your father, love each other, love your neighbor as yourself and your big daddy or your big mommy, however you prefer it. It doesn't care. It is both and more. That's the quickest access. And Solomon and all those wise wizards and Merlin, they don't want to see them. It's like, again, if JFK is going, we have your chief of staff here to plan the strategy of dealing with Cuba and, Nikita Khrushchev. Or do you want to see John? I want to see my boy. Right? So if you want to get access to the universe, become a little boy, a little girl, and love the universe. That's the quickest way. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with mentalism and jnana yoga and learning and understanding the details and doing it through science. It's fine. I enjoy that. I've got a physicist friend in Sedona, retired from Motorola. Him and I get together and mentally masturbate till the frickin' you can feel the heat coming off the walls, okay?
That sounds fun.
Yeah. It's nothing wrong with physics and multiple universe explorations and black holes, and I love hearing, the mathematical stuff, because I can go there. I like it. But, when I'm done with it, I really prefer the heart, So that's the quick, but when you want to access these, you have two ways of doing this. If you have innocence, that's why every teacher says this. The quickest way is innocence. Yogananda is like, heart, innocence, be sincere, talk to God the Father, God the Mother. Jesus says what? You must become as little children. He doesn't say, you must become as mental scientists to know all the details of the universe. That's not what master teachers say, because that's not how it works. So if you're going to be given the keys to the kingdom, now you can be given it in innocence, which means the daddy, the big daddy. Imagine this again. It's a good image, JFK. If he wouldn't let John run out in the middle of Washington, D.C. by himself, no, he'd have a bunch of guards with him or caretakers or people making sure he's okay. Guess who those guys are? They're the angels. So you can be completely innocent and be taken care of.
Yeah, so true. Very good point, Tobias.
Yeah, but then at a certain point, as you start growing up,
it's time.
You're going to feel some of these heavy places to learn some stuff to become a big daddy or big mommy on your own, and then you'll encounter some of the darker stuff. I heard the music.
All right, heavy stuff coming up next. Hang on, freaks. We will be right back. Soul Journeys Radio.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to AmericanFreedomRadio.com, the network who perseveres in delivering intelligent debate, constructive dialogue with true independence. The freedom to broadcast the truth is not free at all. So what is American Freedom Radio worth to you? The empowering information with fun, honest and pure integrity behind it provides an example to follow. Friendships to flourish with the moral altruism that pulls no punches. The hosts sacrifice and show remarkable discipline in their duty to deliver quality radio in service to the community with strength, wisdom and loyalty. The founders of AFR wish to thank you personally for sharing your views and insights to make the best radio and alternative media. Now it's time for you to give something back and play a vital role in the future of America. Be as generous with us as we've been with you. Click on the donate banner at AmericanFreedomRadio.com or volunteer by emailing AmericanFreedomRadio@ymail.com. Vaccine, psychotropic drugs and artillery batteries not included.
All right, welcome back. I had a hard time listening to this song without visualizing, what'd you say, Godzilla stepping on Bambi? Splat!
For balance.
Yes, for balance. That's right. You got to have that, right? We can all be lovey-dovey and wonderful in the text chat and still talk about, murderous rage and, wanting to kill Tobias for making us think and grow and stretch ourselves.
I know. Yeah, but there's no other way out. One thing I'm learning and loving learning this year more, because there's layers of the onion. We relearn stuff. You ever notice that? You got to relearn it about 100,000 times till you really get it.
Yeah, and once you think you got it, you're even further away because a whole nother universe opens up you didn't know existed until you got to that level. Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that we just have to be with what is exactly happening to us. We don't need to rush past it. Here's a very powerful method. You meet the Buddha on the road, you kill him.
True? Yeah.
Because that's his story or her story. What's your story? Because the universe is not a cookie cutter universe. It does create, yes, thousands of fish the same and so forth. But as far as human souls go, okay, yes, that's true. I'm hearing, yes, there's soul groups and all that. But your particular journey is going to be yours, and following that is the only true path for you. And having people wake up too soon is something that Spirit's talking to me this year. A lot of the stuff we talk about is real idealism. I had somebody post on Course of Awakening, Cody, I think. I haven't met him, but I like his posts. Really.
He's awesome. He seems
so
like
beautiful.
such a sweet kid. I just want to kiss him.
So beautiful to feel
Yeah.
people that are, younger than 35. They're like totally star masters of the universe. It's awesome.
It is.
But he put up a post that said, meditation is bullshit or something like this, right? but he had done it. See, this is the thing. You have to walk through your path. So he spent 6 years meditating and had Satori experiences, literally merging with the universe, out of his body, feeling it for real. And then the highest form of being is simply being in communion with the source. You don't need a formal meditation technique or anything. Does Jesus still do yoga?
Exactly.
Does Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Is Krishna going, no, I can't meet with you guys. I have to go do my hatha yoga. No, because they are living permanently in the state of grace, fullness, oneness, and inspired. But you got to, the thing is, the mind will use any teaching all the time. The ego fallen mind will take anything and twist it to get you to avoid awakening. That's its job, kind of, to try to get you off your, rocker.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so you can't go, I don't need to meditate. Give me another beer, honey. Give me them Cheetos. We're all good. And I need another pack of unfiltered Camels, please. Yeah, that's good. You can't misuse it and not have consequences. When you're at that level, you can eat bacon and do whatever the heck you want. It's not going to affect you.
Yeah, I agree.
See? But you can't fake it. The universe, thank you, God, Source Universe. The universe will give you the reflection of what exactly is going on for you. And so let's come around to the subject a little bit. So that the dark night of the soul, feeling our shadow work, this stuff, when you decide, or when your soul has decided, which often the individual personality is not in touch with, so it will feel like it's happening to you. Often, the first massive wake-up calls feel like you got blindsided. Feels like the universe is out to get you. It will feel like, what the hell is happening with me? Often these wake-up calls, I was watching a video today of a woman who was OBGYN, had the house, waterfront in San Diego, she says, the boat, everything, all this stuff. Everything you want, the big retirement account building up, everything perfect, except for the fact she can only spend 7 minutes with each patient. She sees 40 people a day. She can't really help them, and all they're looking for is drugs, because she does tests on them, and they all come out great, and they say, no, please find something wrong, because I feel like crap. Give me some drugs, please, right? And so her life started to fall apart. And here's a good example of how wake-up calls come. Her dad dies. This all happens in a 2-week span. She has a newborn baby. Her dog, his 16-year-old dog, dies. Her husband, who's the stay-at-home dad taking care of the babies, the brand new baby, cuts his fingers off in one of his hands, so now she has to come. He can't do that. And she develops high blood pressure. Boom, 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 boom. Here come the wake-up calls. Because your soul is no respecter of the well-laid plans of mice and men. Your soul, the universe, God is no respecter of persons, is how Jesus tries to say it. But the soul does not respect your temporary egoic identity in some 80-year span where you think if I should work and play along with the system. It doesn't respect any of that. Thank you. It will come in and rip that shit right out of your life. Divorce, bankruptcy, cancer, children, whatever the wake-up calls are. And you have ordered this. You have ordered this. You planned it before you came here. You can say, it's a bunch of hokey. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in any of that. It's happening to you now. There's something inside you telling you need to wake the F up and get out of this drugged, somnambulistic, programmed sleepwalking
That's what it is. These drugs and stuff, I think they're designed to keep us from waking up. It's like, oh no, there's an emotion, let's cover it up and, keep people cloned. But Tobias, you mentioned that some people are waking up too quickly. Now, can that really be true? I mean, if everything happens for a reason, then everything is in its right time. It might feel like, oh shoot, I don't think I really want this as much as I thought I did last week, especially if we know what's going on, right? Rather than blaming it on something that needs to be drugged or whatever. But yeah, is there really such a thing as too soon?
I call them spiritual casualties, which is when you start pretending or inviting in and saying, oh, I'm ready, or you can call it spiritual machoism. Oh, yeah, I can take it. Confront my ego totally, master. Oops, I peed myself and decided that you're Satan. Yeah, people, when we do ayahuasca, even the first time I did ayahuasca, I could feel that intuitively. I go, I'm on my best behavior, please don't hurt me. And please be gentle with me.
Right?
Right? Because,
I think you get seen what you need, or what you see what you need to see, though, or what you need to experience, or what's inside of you. And if you're hiding, if you're afraid of that, or hiding the shadow or the dark stuff, then of course you're going to be confronted with that. But like Tobias, and I'm pretty open with it. It's not so scary. Yeah.
The woman doctor, I liked what she said today. I liked her spirit. I could see her as a reincarnated British Isle Avalon, actually more like a witch than a priestess. But she said one beautiful thing she said, when these wake-up calls come into your life that you've custom ordered, two things happen. You either grow or you grow a tumor. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah. So true. Yeah. That's basically it. The resentment, the energy is the trump card. In the beginning, there wasn't flesh. In the beginning, there was light, which is thought. The interface between physicality and non-physical is thought and light. I think we need those tumors. Those can be really good, wake-up calls, especially, if we're not paying attention. And then the tumor is actually doing us a favor and showing us what we are avoiding or what we do need to work on. Yeah. And if you get two more to get gathered, you'll take care of the tumor. Go, tumors, go! I don't know. I let people when they tell, I was diagnosed with cancer. It's like, awesome. That's great. How you doing? What a great wake-up call. Like, I'm not one of those that are like, oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry. I'm just like, woohoo! Rock on! Now we can get real. Are you ready? Yeah. And you can go schizophrenic and, it can be so painful that you dissociate out of your mind and your incarnation and you hover between the worlds. And, you're literally schizophrenic or what we call mentally ill. Now, you could say ultimately it's all good, but, that's kind of a sucky state for most people. So we can, because we have free will, we can invite more awakening in than we're really ready for. And you can have Kundalini casualties somewhat. ultimately it's all good, but the thing is like saying, oh yeah, it's great, turn the pipes on. Oh, so we hadn't actually let the cement harden. Just shove the 1,000 psi through it, pounds per square inch, it'll be fine. No, you're going to have to rebuild the system if so you can overamp the human system. I've seen it, and if we're honest, Christie, and I know for me, there are times when we feel close to the edge, but please, okay, that's enough.
I'm honest. I feel that way often. Totally.
Yeah.
But, at least, and that's, I think, why it's so important to start talking about this stuff. Because, my friends are in town visiting. We decided to watch a movie last night on Netflix. It was called, I forgot. Hopefully somebody will tell me in the chat. But anyways, it was basically... there were a lot of stories in there. It was a little bit weird, but the first half of the movie was all about drugs. And we were just realizing that, pharmaceutical drugs and all these different pills they have for all of these emotions we're not supposed to feel. And, we're just suppressing the awakening, which makes it even worse. And I understand, my own experience is I was drugged for most of the first 35 years of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm talking from the time, like right when I started to walk. So it really hit me hard last night watching that movie and seeing that, these people are just going through awakenings. They're, upset with their job or upset with their relationships or, not happy, not fulfilled, but they're so pressured to, do what they tell us to do. So they go on doing these things that they hate, literally killing themselves and thinking that pills are the answer. So yeah, I've definitely felt that, Tobias. It's been a hardcore, kind of series of awakenings for me. Sorry, it's not just one, oh, bam, now I'm awake and everything is all easy. It's not easy, but I can look at it with new eyes now and realize that, oh, wow, okay, it doesn't mean I'm sick. It doesn't mean I'm, mentally ill. It doesn't mean I'm, have a new diagnosis. It's just a freaking awakening. And so we just have to allow it rather than fight against it, which, again, is part of the programming I'm trying to break through myself. I have those, even though I know, and I can talk about this now, maybe next time it happens, I will still have the tendency to want to resist it, right? But I know at least my last several smaller little glitches or, universe screwing me. Once I realized that after a couple days, it's like, oh, Christie, just relax into it, feel it, take that time for yourself. And it's like, okay, now I can breathe. Now I can see the message. Now I can see what other layer is opening up or, ego death or something in myself that I can work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as you started talking about the movie, I wanted to offer to the people that are still trying to hold it all together, whether you're taking lots of pharmaceuticals to do that or drinking or a workaholic or a mamaholic.
Yeah.
You're a mamaholic. You're living through your kids. You're not taking care of yourself. You're a mamaholic.
I did that too. Yeah.
What is it that we're trying to hold together?
Yeah. A broken system.
What is it that we're waiting to exhale for? What are you waiting for? For what? Finally one day you're gonna get to heaven because you worked hard or did it all correctly and produced more little children that went off to Harvard and Stanford and, quote, became completely dissatisfied and got tumors when they were OBGYN or neurologists also?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are you trying to hold together desperately? What are you trying to hold together so desperately? You can't hold it together anyway. Who's going to win? The giant tsunami, the solar wind, the tide, the life force, or your little willpower? Come on, let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
Yep, let it go. It is that time. Hang on, everyone. We will be right back. Soul Journeys Radio.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out.
The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, Tobias, you having fun? I thought you were going to start playing the air drums and... That's a killer drum beat, by the way. Welcome back, everyone. We are getting real to heal tonight, feeling our shadows, the spiritual journey with Tobias Lars. And Tobias, we have a caller on the line. Do you want to get to that or finish up? What are we holding together?
No, I was just feeling as you talked about everyone watching the movie you said about people taking pills for this, that, and the other, We're desperately, if you feel the collective now, everybody, you feel yourself, parts of you, and then the collective, what are we putting on all those masks for? What are we trying to hold together? Desperately smiling and pushing ourselves to feel good when we really don't. Joy's displaying it for me right now. She does that perfect smile.
Hi, Joy.
Yeah, Joy says hello.
Hi.
We're on the air, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Come join us. Come on.
She says I don't care. Tell her
to come join us. I'd like to hear about her day today.
She's playing with the dogs. Oh man. Okay, Joy. Christy wants to hear. Do you want to get on the air?
Yeah.
Take advantage of you.
Okay, we can't do
nice.
That. Right.
No, you should. Tell her, take advantage of you now. I think you all should do it on the air. Aren't we getting real? Do it.
You heard her say that? You heard her say that?
Do it. Rape him, Joy, right now.
Stop showing me your breasts, honey. That's not right.
If you rape him, I'll drink my pee. Like right here, right now. I'll get naked, drink my pee right here. Come on, Joy, jump him.
She's leaving the room.
Oh, man. That would be fun if she, never mind. We can get a little, well, see, that's so funny. Like, the first thing that comes to mind, getting a little dirty. Why is, like, sexual stuff considered dirty?
This is a huge topic, of course. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what? We have a caller on the line. We can't be rude.
It's just like the masks we all put on.
Yeah.
We've turned all that into porn. Which is somehow wrong. Oprah can't admit when she has the guest on her show and she says, oh, there's websites of guys who like to shoot, like, film girls up their skirts? Really? And I'm like, Oprah, shut up. You would be so titillated and enjoy that so much. You can see it in her eyes. But we're not allowed to do it. We're not allowed to admit what turns us on publicly quite yet.
Yeah, not allowed to suck his cock yet.
That's a fun game, right? God, Oprah's awesome, right? But for her she can't admit that yet because of where she's at. If Oprah came out and said, yes, I love letting guys film under my skirts and, do the upskirt thing. Okay? Now, if she said that publicly, it would be like the whole nation would stop. Like,
she'd be stuck doing internet radio and webcam videos on YouTube like me.
Exactly. The whole nation would stop. Obama would be like, "Oh, thank God for taking the attention off of me and my debacle with Obamacare."
Clinton would like it, right? all of a sudden he's vindicated. Oh, it's normal. All right.
See? I'm not the only bad guy around here. Look at Oprah.
The
See?
bad
I'm
guy.
mine.
Well, I mean, why? I don't know. I just think it's so silly. We have to hide, or we feel that we have to hide everything that everybody else is doing. And there's like, what, 3 people that'll actually say, hi, I do it too. Come on.
But it's a sign of the level of, and I'm not saying it, no judgment here. Because if we're all compassion and understanding and holding space, I came from lily white little yogi. You understand? I mean, even though we're kind of relaxed about sex, but it's still in its place in Scandinavia, It's not craziness, And we need to approach this as it's safe, because there is a Pandora's box phenomenon here. We have a lot of hidden trauma and pain and lusts and fears and terrors mixed into our first 2 chakras, And so if you open that wide open too soon, you can get overwhelmed. So there is
nobody's forcing them to listen.
And we're talking about it. But so the first step is to accept and realize, yes, if Joy and I started doing sex on the air, that's way over the top.
You wouldn't have to tell it. You could just tell me during a break, and then I'll just do the show, and then I'll be gentle with you if you don't answer my question right away.
Right.
So we would know. When I was on WBAM, we literally, it was a morning news show, weather and traffic, 5:30 to 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. And we literally would take our pants off to sit behind the desk. And we were, like, nobody watching the TV show knew, but we had fun, because it's just, I don't know, it's funny. The producers would walk by sometimes and be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing now? But yeah, why not? I wouldn't tell anyone if she was sucking their cock here on the show. Promise.
I love it. That's good.
We're being rude. We have a caller.
All right. So let me just finish on that. It represents our loss of the Garden of Eden, The masks we put on, our clothes are the physicalization of the masks we have put on energetically. Because just now Bentley, the male dog, came in here, and the little girl is in heat right now. So he just came in with his nose in the air, running around the whole house looking for her. He is unabashed. I don't care if it's my daughter. My drive is on. You know what I mean? And humans, we have a natural, conscious, energetic sex drive that we could trust. Once you are in an awakened state, you can trust it. Before that, we are kind of like animals. And so God has to regulate it with the animals by just giving the female dogs heat twice a year. They only want to have sex twice a year. But for some humans aren't ready to be conscious about the sex, let's be honest, the vast majority. So therefore there still needs to be these harsh regulations on it. But as you come back into awakening, you actually can direct the energies and decide pregnancies. This willy-nilly pregnancy thing is just a total lie. The woman can decide not to have the babies. The man can decide, no, I don't infuse actual impregnation energy into my actual little swimmer dudes. I know that's far out for a lot of people, but that's true. Female wolves can decide even after they're pregnant and they have babies developing, if there's not enough food to go around, they can reabsorb the pregnancy. Well, we have incredible talents like this as humans that we have relegated and abdicated to our subconscious. And a part of this reawakening is going to bump you up against the river Styx, the Hydra, the Greek myths, these monsters that you're going to have to conquer, slay, or see through to make your allies as you travel into your subconscious. The biggest monsters there are in the universe, guess where they are?
In our minds. In
our own subconscious, yeah. And so that's the inner journey. The hero's journey is the inner journey, And so you're going to have to face these things that are part of yourself. Now, you're not going to be alone like we talked about. But yeah, okay. So is there someone that actually wants to ask us something? Or
Maybe they just want to yell at us for being so dirty and perverted and chaotic. All right, but let's check it out. We have area code 570. Thanks for your patience and welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing tonight?
All right. How about you?
Do you have a question for us tonight?
I just wanted to share an experience that I had
Great.
around Halloween and All Souls and all those other holidays.
Nice.
All right.
A couple nights after Halloween, my grandmother and I, neither of us could sleep. And we both...
You're going to have to speak up a little bit or get closer to the phone or something. I can barely hear you.
Old stuff out. And it felt nice. And, like, afterwards, we were all loving and friendly with each other, and we had said stuff to each other that we never thought that we would say. And it was over something really, really silly, but it came out and it felt nice. And I'm like thinking through my repertoire, and I'm thinking, what other stuff can make me really uncomfortable?
Aw, that's beautiful.
This feels awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's harsh getting out there, but once it was out, it was wonderful.
Yeah, beautiful.
The trick I find is while you're in the midst of it, your intention actually, I just want this cleared out of me. I don't really want to make the other person wrong or attack them so much. I just want this crap out of me. It's like we were throwing up something that we swallowed that's not good. It doesn't, it's unhealthy for us. That's going to happen more and more. That's a beautiful story. So what did you guys, you and your grandma, something came up that irritated each other and it cleared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Could you say what it was? Because the smaller and the more idiotic and embarrassing it is, the better.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was about her. She had written a note to my grandfather. They went through a separation, and she ended up with the short end of the stick.
Okay, honey, I'm so sorry to stop it here. We have a break coming in, so hang on the line. We will continue this after this short break. We will see you at the top of the second hour. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back. Pump, pump, squirt with Tobias. We're ready. Okay, sorry. It's those off-air jokes carrying over. That's right. Let me give us a proper introduction. Welcome back, boys and girls. This is your soul journey here tonight. AmericanFreedomRadio.com, and we are not having any fun. No fun allowed. And
No fun allowed.
Let's get back to our caller. I want to hear the cute story. So here we go. 570, welcome back.
Hello again.
Okay, so you had this experience where you wanted to say something for however long, and, you finally had the courage, I guess, to do it around Halloween.
Yeah. More so, my grandmother's always been a guilt manipulator. Subconscious, really. It's how she was raised, how I was raised, how my family was raised.
And it all worked out, though, right? You had a good ending?
And we both ended up sharing some opinions about each other, and it was just very loving in the end.
Beautiful.
I love that when that happens.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah, and it can work. It won't work all the time, but let's open the box to that it is there.
Yeah.
And you felt great afterwards, right?
Yes, like I was trembling because of the extreme emotional outlet, but
yeah, that's a good point. That we
more of this out. This is really good. I would really like to move forward with that.
That's a good point about the trembling, because when we move energy, often our body has been programmed to hold it back, so you get that resistance. Or even if my voice shakes with fear, I will speak my truth. That type of thing. So accept it. They're just all feelings. I had one this afternoon, so to accept the process of, okay, I'm going to feel like crap, my hands will get clammy, my throat might choke off, I might feel scared and stupid and embarrassed. But that's the vulnerability that is actually the strength. And it takes about 10 times of doing it till we actually start believing it for most people, that it can be helpful. That's beautiful. So you and your grandma cleared a bunch of crap that she'll be very grateful she cleared when she's on the other side too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
love it.
We've been more honest with each other lately about how we feel about each other and about things and about ourselves. It's really greatly improved our relationship, just that one little blow-up.
That's awesome. Good job. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So
I have a video.
Afraid to blow up at people because sometimes it ends up very well.
Yeah. And it doesn't always have to be like a big blow up. I think that's what keeps us from sharing our true selves or our true feelings, because we're just programmed to think, oh, well, if I disagree, then that automatically equates to an argument. But that's not true either. I think it would be neat to just be able to say, Grandma or Tobias or, this is how I'm feeling. I'm not blaming you. I love you. But this, I think it would be cool to be able to say those things and get everything out in the open. And I don't know.
That's a great key there. Joy and I just were doing this afternoon. And the key I was trying to get in there was, look, the feelings are what they are. You have the feelings you have. But if you add blame into them, and by you made me feel this way, or it's your fault I feel this way, that's when you cross the trespassing line. You can say, I feel you are doing this, or it's your fault, but I know, I really want to just heal this energy in me. That changes the dialogue completely. But even if it comes out raw and direct, in the middle of it, if your intention is, okay, I really just want this out of me, I want to be cleared and healed because I like that good feeling afterwards, and I also function better and I sleep better, and everything, I have more energy, some good benefits to getting this old crap out of ourselves, But
and sometimes
the blame
can be a good step. And when I was talking to my grandmother, she was very blaming, but I was understanding at this, like I was still angry, but I was expressing what I was saying without giving fault for the most part.
As much as we can. And, if the underlying intention is, and most people haven't been taught any of this, we're not taught how do I release emotions with you without it going into this, F you and F you too, and I never want to talk to you again. How can we allow for feelings? They're just temporary feelings. But this is partially why we put on those fake masks. We wear the masks all day long because it has happened that people say the truth will set you free. Well, really, the truth will get me killed. Right? That's the experience for many souls has been, I told the truth and I got the one who got the shaft, And so we have to overcome that programming and practice as we do it. Yeah. I think it's great. I can feel it. Love it. No blame as much as possible.
That's right. All right, honey.
Yeah.
Well, good job, and thanks so much for calling in to share that with us.
Okay. I'll let you
Thank
guys
you.
get back to the show.
All right, thanks.
I was feeling. I know
That's
when I'm not.
awesome. Another notch on Tobias's post. We're getting real here.
We're posting things on Facebook again.
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Well, yeah, more dildos and pee.
Okay.
It's-
So this
okay,
stuff-
we're getting real.
We're making play and fun, but it sucks when you're going through this.
Yeah.
And like she said, I was scared and shaking from being truthful with my grandma. I mean, this is wrong, right? It's wrong. Don't say anything to grandma. It's ridiculous. All this programming, guilt has put in super programming in human beings to prevent us from being real with each other. I remember one time I confronted my dad with something, and he said, "Well, yeah, but I have to take care of Christina, my daughter. She's in the." I go, "Dad, that's been going on for 10 years. Nothing's changed. The mind will come up with any reason to avoid, also.
Yes.
To avoid dealing with it, and so sometimes it needs to be confronted, because it is slippery and slimy. It's the passive aggressive thing." And even that has its place. But the main thing is the intention of, no one can stop you if you have the intention, I want to heal myself. Now, if there's 80% cyborgs and, soul fragments walking around in human bodies that are completely in denial, unconscious, I can't expect them to be very conscious. So you can't push or expect, you can't make it your awakening dependent on the other person getting it. That will trap you as well. You have to just be interested in, I want to heal myself. I want to heal myself. I want to heal myself. This afternoon, I was getting hit for the first time in a long time, by something very heavy, very dark. And I've kind of been on a 3-year freaking, being very active phase of my life. So this afternoon, and I forgot what the topic was for this show tonight. I thought we'd finished something and we're moving on to a new one. But this afternoon, I was feeling all this darkness, this heaviness, the heaviness of despair, of whatever you want to call it. And since I practiced this, I'm like, well, that's interesting. So let me just feel this. And I expressed it in a way that might not have been the best way of doing it. But that's okay too. They're all just feelings, but not to belittle this, because when this heavy stuff comes at us, like rage, depression mixed with grief, rage, and just hopelessness, that's heavy stuff. And so, not when you listen to me and Christie going, "Oh, we're just feel it and heal it." No, we know it's not that easy. We go through it ourselves, But we're trying to just surface the subject, because this is such a taboo subject, really. No one talks about it much. But they are just feelings. Even the darkest thing, if you can just keep breathing, I am right here and I'm still breathing. My mind is going ape monkey. It's wanting me to imagine all this and freak out with fear, and I have to go immediately talk to that person and clear it up, or let me just breathe, right? These feelings are heavy at times, but there's years ago, Spirit told me, said, "Tobias, there's no way through this." I mean, excuse me. That's what the ego wants to say. There's no way around dealing with this, but there is a way through it, and not to suffer, but also not belittle it. Not to go, "Oh, it's no big deal. Just feel your feeling." No, at times it can be very, very. Feels like molasses. I'm like walking through molasses. I'm just like, I can't get out from under this feeling. And then you get better and better at it to go, "Oh, I know this place. I've been here before. I know it won't last forever, but I'm not running from it. I'm going to eat this energy. I'm going to alchemize this energy." That's what the alchemy process is about. This is just an energy. Everything is just energy. Even this horrible the deep rest thing we talked about last week. Deep rest, and forcing you to take a deep rest. You need to rest yourself for a while.
And feel
Even
those those deep pressed feelings we've suppressed. Yeah.
And so we're not looking for trouble here, like Elvis.
No, just Tobias's.
No, we want to be, but in being real, you have to, and you don't want to get fixated on. Some people are like, oh yeah, we should feel our feelings all the time. No, shut up. There's a time to go, that's enough of that. I can't do it right now. I need to go, do this. Not to mope around and stir your own crap, forever and ever. That's not what we're talking about. But if it's there, it needs to be dealt with. It's just a proper mental attitude. Not a positive mental attitude, just a proper, meaning how do you deal with this? What do we need to do with it? The scientific method, the scientific rational mind is good at this. It goes, what's the best thing I do? Well, that makes sense. I need to feel it. Let me feel it. Okay, that's awakening me. Oh my God, I didn't know that about myself. Now I get more compassion for other people when I went through it myself. And trust the process. This afternoon I'm spending 2 hours in a place where it made me, because I'm kind of used to being inspired by God's source. When I work with people or I'm doing a show like this, I get kind of a, flame up my butt, from God. The Holy Ghost Kundalini, right? Helps me out. It's when you go on stage, you get a little bit of juice, right? Every performer knows that. Something happens. You either pass out with fear or you step up and get it done. Right?
Yeah.
And so I could feel this afternoon, it's good. Oh, remember, Tobias, that still the vast majority of humans are feeling overtaken at times by their feelings and their heavy emotions. So we're not saying this is an easy journey. The hero's journey in the Greek myths, they're not having an easy time. They're shipwrecked, they get captured, they get killed almost all the time. Every shaman going through their initiation is teeter-tottering between life and death. So I know. But there is no way around it, but there is a way through it. And as the caller said, once we do reclaim these chunks of our own soul, afterwards we just feel this lightening, this lifting, this fullness of energy. Again, not to go looking for it, but be with what is happening, and then teach me, source, teach me myself. Being in touch with the feelings is the first step. Still a large majority of humans are still avoiding at all costs.
Yeah.
They're
and that's kind of like the ones that say, since we're talking about the real spiritual awakening, that's just another method of avoidance many times as well, right? Oh, those feelings, you're not supposed to feel that. Everything's, lollipops and rainbows and be grateful. Don't feel that yucky stuff. That spiritual mask we were talking about.
Yeah, you can't argue with feelings. One thing that when I finished my yoga thing, I'm doing yoga for years and doing the Kundalini Kriya meditations, and I still do them. I don't when my body wants to, when my heart wants to, I go, I need to sit with you, God, and then it kind of does itself. I'll do the Kriya breathing, the certain breathing exercises, the Tree of Life meditation. I'm going to do a class on that. The Tree of Life is just a natural breathing up and down your spine. These are all very helpful, but they'll want to do it. You don't have to force yourself. It'll sort of happen. Sometimes you do. When you're 400 pounds and you have been like depressed for 10 years, somebody needs to come and kick your ass and go, let's go. Get out of bed. Let's move. I just want you to walk on your walker around the freaking block. That's all we're doing today. Come on, do it. Yeah. Sometimes we need to do that to ourselves. So I'm not, to get out of apathy, you need somebody to kick your ass or challenge you or get you to be really pissed off or something.
I need it.
Sort of it's like boot camp. Boot camp. Yeah. Boot camp has its place.
Kick my ass, please.
That Marine Corps sergeant has a place in getting you to frickin' move. But once you've become self-regulating, you don't need a Marine Corps sergeant yelling in your ear. You will want to do it. You will have self-regulate, then you have self-discipline, and then you move to no discipline at all. You just have self-doing. It just happens through me.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Once you start drinking certain green juices and this and that, and half fruit and half green, your body goes, I want that now.
Yeah, once you start drinking pee. Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna reach a level where you want it, but that's maybe a far way off when you first start. Yeah. But going to the gym or a certain exercise, moving your body, it's gonna want to do it after a while. You're like, oh my God, I need that. It just makes me feel good. It wants to do it, but getting the miller's wheel, getting the water wheel going. At first, you need to kind of get it going. And that's the first 21 days, 30 days of going to the gym or exercise or changing your diet or whatever. So there's a place for hiring someone to kick your butt.
Yep, you're hired, Tobias.
I will help kick your butt. I do with people. I do mentorships. I've got 3 permanent mentorship or, ongoing mentorship clients right now. And we have fun.
Nice. All right. Speaking of fun, we got to go listen to music and tell dirty jokes. We will be right back. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotic.
Freedom.
Oh, yes. I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back. Yeah, I want to hear you sing on the show, Tobias.
All right.
All right, cool. I know you love Black Sabbath.
No.
Or Marilyn Manson.
I'll sing one of my songs sometime with a guitar.
Sure. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, I need a guitar here.
Okay.
I have to get up out of here and get one. Yeah. And mine are too nice, or they're too depressing.
I don't know. Do you have any too nice songs? I think they're all pretty kind of like hardcore, like feel that crap, like in your Shackled Gods that you never talk about.
Oh, my book?
Yeah, that book.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. By the way, folks, if you want to realize other souls are going through this same hopeless stuff, or whatever, going through the dark night, which is a common experience for all of us. I wrote it was just a verse. It would just come out as verse. I told God, I'm not editing anything, but it would just come out from my soul. Pretty dark stuff, about whatever. But
yeah, I can relate to a lot of those words, if not all.
Here's one. So yeah, Shackled Gods is a small book. I just, I have to put it out there. It said, look, put us out there. We were actual energies. We need to see our day in the sun too. Give our time in the light. So it's called Shackled Gods, universe, oneness of verse. Verse means song. Universe means the song of the one. My hopelessness goes deeper. My hopelessness goes deeper than I. First thought on creation's morn, spelled both ways, as in morning and morning. Original cause, the world's divided. My hopelessness goes deeper than I. First thought on creation's morn, original cause, the world's divided. When we reach the places where we hit, there is an emptiness in the creation. There is what's called a void, a gap, a plane of reversal, where most people, when they hit that, Mark Twain puts that in the quote, most people stumble on the truth, but they quickly get up, dust themselves off, and run away. When we hit this, there's an actual space, time. It's like the nothing in the never-ending story, or often in science fiction movies, they'll have have it as this thing that eats the creation. There's some dark shadow energy that is just sucking all the energy out of the creation. This is a very real thing. And it's a place called, you can call it what you want, but it's a gap. It's the gap between the feminine and the masculine. It is where the feminine and the masculine don't meet, or you could say where heart and the mind don't meet. It's where we're not communicating with each other. And that gap, this chasm, remember in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf is almost out of the chasm and the frickin' demon does his last thing and sucks him down into it?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful allegorical representation of the gap, which feeds, it's like a black hole basically, and it's feeding on human hearts and human minds and human energies. And when you go into this place, you are lost. You are being sucked into a place of unconsciousness. So when we hit these places, you will encounter these places inside your own body, inside yourself. And the trick is here to bring awareness into this place of unconscious denial, right? Because the unconscious denial is when people black out, when OJ snaps and kills his wife, when people go into full-on berserker rage on the battlefield, or they flip out on the airplane, or the guys in Iraq killing women and children, you know, the soldier that killed like 18 women and children just because he flipped out. That's the place, and then they don't remember doing it, or it's the stand-up Mormon guy here in town who stabbed. He's the perfect guy. Everybody loved him, perfect man, husband, etc. One night he stabs his wife 130 times and he doesn't recall doing it. He literally flipped out.
Oh.
That's the Jekyll and Hyde thing. So there is a place as you set forth your soul to reclaim. You're going to encounter some of this stuff, only the stuff inside yourself that you're responsible for. But if you want to reconnect your heart, if you want to reclaim your subconscious, this is the real spiritual journey. If thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But your whole body cannot be full of light, meaning fully awake again, fully conscious, unless you're willing to go back in there and clear out the debris. It's like going out into an old house that needs to be cleaned out, into our own basement that we've been avoiding. Well, the basement literally is your first, second, third chakras. You know? And so it's a literal spiritual physical process. So you will encounter these places, you know, literally in visions, but also in feelings. It's the same thing. I felt one of them this afternoon. I hadn't for quite a while felt a heavy, really hopeless, dead, you know, unmoving. You could also call it unmoving energy, like stuck energy. The light is stronger than all that, or your heart or love, call it what you want. But at first, you're going to feel like, oh my God, you know, I'm going to get caught in the spider web here forever. And this happens on ayahuasca journeys too. Ayahuasca will at some point suggest, let's go down this time tunnel and recover this lost soul fragment for you. And you're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm stuck here forever. This is the hell experience, by the way. This is what Christians call the hell experience, that you're in hell forever. Because time is not real. So it feels like forever. If it feels like forever, it is forever as far as you're concerned. Because the mind makes up the reality. So when you go, I'm stuck here forever, so it becomes. It's not true. Any time a soul says, okay, I've had enough of this, boom, the stargates open up, the light, the tunnel of light shows up, you can move up to other dimensions. Free will. But we can create the illusionary, temporary experience of forever in hell realms. And there are many, many souls doing that right now. Mm-hmm. I went to visit a bunch of those hell realms during the ayahuasca journeys, you know. The last ones I did in Mexico, we were off into beauty land. I was just having a blast. You know, I was in the heavens. I was talking to Babaji. I talked to Osho. I talked to them as souls. You can talk to everybody. I talked to ayahuasca as a being. We were laughing and she was teasing me. You know, it's really funny. It's very, very playful. And, you know, it was just a beautiful heart opening for me last time. It's different every time. And I've only done ayahuasca maybe, I don't know, 9, 10 times total. This is not something you do a lot of. For many humans, it would be good to do it once a year. Do a couple of sessions once a year to get you on track.
Awesome.
Just to open us up. Yeah.
I wish I wasn't so programmed that, drugs are bad, MK. I would have liked to have done more. 9 times would be cool.
Well, for me, it was, I grew up, absolutely no drugs. And then I researched the whole LSD thing that Richard Alpert and Timothy Leary did, Ram Dass, at Harvard. And I just read actual accounts, actual reports from people in the history of it. And then, anything that opens you. But I got very clear direction from God, source said, okay, now you've seen those other realms. Now you need to do it for real without needing the chemicals. Now, ayahuasca is a little different because she's a plant. But again, you can get in trouble with anything. You can smoke too much pot and your brain stem gets heavy and, it shuts you down. It's all has its place. The thing is not to rely on everything. As we started this conversation, anything you give power to outside yourself will betray you, and it should. Anything you give power to outside yourself is going to betray you, whether that's a government, whether that's a wife or a husband, whether that's a church or an institution or a corporation. Can you say Enron Corporation? Or a belief system, anything. Because you're doing idolatry. You are worshiping a created thing instead of the creator, which is what you are, and what is flowing inside yourself. You will get feedback from the creation, meaning it has to betray you. It has to betray you to get you to wake up. The current debacle with our healthcare system is perfect because now I'm going to piss some people off. Now, because slug energy that wants the government medical system to save them, heal yourself. Come on. You want free drug dispensing so you're not going to feel yourself? Of course it's going to be a massive total screw up because the level of energy you're dealing with is tamas, which is apathy. What does the government help the Native American population to have healthy lives? No, they're fatter and more diabetic and horrible than ever. So, yeah, and the doctors are frustrated too because the people want the pill, like the woman just said, and the OBGYN who woke up and walked away from her profession, and she still does the profession, but she does it very differently now. She said she even went, people are eating raw vegan, and I was helping them with the acupuncture and this and that, and I realized that's not even it. You got to get to the soul. You got to get to the root of it. You got to heal and want to live. Unless you have life force in you, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be happy or thrive or enjoy life. Unless you have the life force moving in you, you can eat raw vegan and get acupuncture and massage and the ultraviolet red and infrared and this. You can have the ultimate flown in from everywhere.
Yeah, none of that means anything if you're not working on yourself.
You're going to suck anyway. It's going to suck. Your life's going to suck. Because you have to heal your heart. Mm-hmm. The broken heart, it is at the root of it. The broken heart of the human soul. The broken heart of, I don't like that I separated from source. I hate God. These are common things you're going to encounter on this journey. There is no God. I'm just going to settle for power and pussy and money and shoes and the right look for my husband and the right freaking house and car and all that. You're going to be tempted with that all along the way. Settle for power versus heart.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you can't.
Power or comfort. Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't be a billionaire and be Jesus. Jesus can be a billionaire. Krishna was a billionaire. King Arthur was a billionaire. Those guys were complete awakened souls. Mm-hmm. So they're not mutually exclusive at all. This poverty thing is bullshit. I mean, do you think God he's like some freaking vow? Do you think God takes vows of celibacy and poverty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to this. If God took vows of celibacy, nothing would be going on here. There'd be no creation.
No trees, no flowers, no puppies, no people. Yeah.
If God took vows of poverty, you'd be living on black cinder, you know. That's it. Stupid. Wake up. I get very few of those comments anymore. No, and I understand compassion for it because I've been there, you know. But the whole thing about I have to live in poverty and celibacy, that hates life. Feel that. That is life-hating. It hates the life force. It hates the life force. It hates the life force so much that it doesn't want to feel the sexual energy. And so it suppresses it so much that it goes elsewhere. It's really hates life, hates God, call it what you want, hates the universe. I'm going to kill myself by suppressing myself. Not that there's not a right place for abstinence and fasting. Of course there is. But not as mechanisms that you put in place forever. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Just feel that one again. Is God, is he or she, do they take vows of poverty and celibacy? Who came up with that garbage?
Yeah, yet we think that that's going to get us closer to God or the source or whatever. Isn't that funny how that works? Do everything anti-God and then you can earn your spot in heaven. Okay.
Guess where that actually leads you.
You know, last week we actually met some church people on the street that literally think that going to amusement parks is, you know, satanic or anti-God. Because, I don't know if you saw some of the signs, but, you know, fun is Satan's trap and the party ends in hell. And yeah, he was sharing with us about his sons, how he'd go to Silver Dollar City and they'd be all crying because there was no more fun and it's all work, work, work and, you know, be celibate and I don't know. It's just funny people think that. They do, though. Where does it end?
But here's the thing, Christie. Okay, so let's like the Amish people or something. You know, everyone thinks it's all happy, but no, you know, now on TV the Amish mafia is showing that it's not no happy. It's a whole bunch of undercurrent crap if you suppress it.
It's that time, honey. Hold that right there. Stay tuned, everyone. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
News and information you can trust. This is American Freedom Radio. Freedom, American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight. I know we might be having too much fun for some people, like the cute little church people on the street that think amusement parks are of the devil, part of Satan's trap. So please continue, Toby.
Okay, we left off. Yeah, I wanted to say, this is where we need to learn to discern, too. Because for some people, freedom is dangerous. Whoa! Did I just say that? For some people, again, that don't have inner direction or inner discernment, if you offer them, look, here's hookers and cocaine, they have no understanding of that. They have no self-direction.
Moderation, yeah.
Yeah. And so they do need strong Amish clothing to tie them up so they can't do that stuff. Really. And so, like, I work with people that have been in the Jehovah's Witnesses and come out of it, and that's deep programming stuff, you know? Deprogramming, the deep programming. And we actually reach a place of appreciating Jehovah, this Anunnaki officer of the, you know, in a sense, because they do keep you from becoming heroin addicts, and people that really have no self-control, they can get invaded, possessed, so, you know, really damaged in a sense. So rigid militaristic religions have their place. They really do.
All right.
But once you've, again, learned to have some inner self-direction, then you need to get out of there, because then it becomes a prison for you. They're, you know, controlling you and subjugating you and feeding on you. But so we often end up in an appreciation for, you know, thank you, Jehovah, for being a, you know, controlling bastard, because you helped me from becoming a heroin addict or drinking like my parents did, or, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there is a place where it all makes sense, spiritual physics-wise. Just like the kids need to get angry at the parents to get their own identity, we need to get angry at our controllers, governments, religions, Illuminati. We need to get angry at them as we start becoming free. Part of getting free is getting angry at your parents. You understand?
Yeah.
Or, you know, yeah, you need to go, no, you don't know, you don't tell me what to do. You know, it seems to be part of that process. So humanity at large is really going through a growing up stage of being pissed at our parents, i.e. Big Daddy Obama or Bush or governments or Illuminatis or banksters or whatever, authorities. And we need to be pissed about it. We need to get outraged. We need to get our rage out. So it has its place, but you have to go through the process to get to there. Like now when I look at people, God gives me a taste of, I say, show me how you see them. And he says, okay, see how they're creating that drama in their life? It's perfect. They need that divorce, or, you know, they need to have that thing happen to them for them to start waking up.
Yeah.
And I say, I get it. That's why you're not fixing it for them. He says, yeah. I'm not going to fix that for them, because a fix is what heroin addicts need. They need a fix. I'm not going to be fixing people anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to be allowing them to grow. I'm going to be allowing them to find themselves. I'm going to hold space for them, make sure they're covered, safe, so forth, for them to find their own inner strength. Teaching them to fish, not handing them fish. The oldest proverb around, right? Yeah. And that is a excruciatingly harsh path at first. The first wake-up calls are the hardest. Then after a while, after about 10 times of getting you're totally sure that you don't want to exist as a soul. After about 10 times of that, you go, oh, okay, I get it. These are deep cleaning I'm going through. It's like getting Rolfed. Remember that therapy where you're like getting, they're grinding your karma out of you? They're like sticking their elbow on your bones in the back. Only the Germans could come up with this massage therapy, right?
Damn Germans. Freaking pee on video and...
The uptight Swedes and Germans. Helga, please do it to me again, Helga.
They're pretty tough.
Only the Germans can come up with a 400-pound man therapy. You've heard of that, right?
I think somebody just posted a video about that earlier in the chat tonight.
400-pound man therapies. You have a 400-pound man lay on you for 10 minutes, and then you feel awesome when he gets off.
And then you're all better. All of your problems are solved.
Oh, thank God, I feel better now. Most of the stuff we do on the planet is still 400-pound man therapy. We think we need to suffer in order to feel better. You know, we don't have to, but the universe is so loving, so giving, so... The universe is a yes man. God is a yes man. Do I need to like play in dive bars and like get beer bottles thrown at me and get beat up and fight? Do I need to pay my dues? I want to pay my dues before I let myself be successful. The universe says, great, I'll help you. someone else, like a Todd Rundgren or somebody, or, whatever, some studio people, or like the band Boston way back, where'd they come from? They were just engineers, and they just created music, and boom, they never played out at all. They sold millions of albums. It's up to us. You think if you handed Jesus a guitar, he would go, "Oh, I need to pay my dues. I don't know how to play it."
Yeah.
Stupid. But if you want to pay your dues, the universe says, "Sure, be my guest." If you want to find, what if there's an easier way? The universe says, "Oh, here, there's 100 easier ways. Do you want to look at them?" or it's fine. No. My daddy taught me that you must struggle and pay your dues, and because I loved my daddy, I would be betraying my daddy if I accepted a different way than my daddy's tradition of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's deep implants in the humans. That subconscious thing. I had a partner here, brilliant guy, MBA, blah, 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 engineer, was a civil engineer as well. But his family was from India, and they were 12th generation jewelers. He tried to get out of the family business. I mean, they had gold mines and gems and rubies, sapphires, diamonds, all this stuff. He started going back to, doing that on the side because it makes a lot of money. So I was working with him for a while. We were doing big stones, like 12-carat emeralds for they were worth $60,000. We would sell them for half price to people. I mean, just awesome deals, great deals. And I'd go, "Now listen, you don't just have to make $1,000 on a $30,000 stone. We could actually make $4,000. And I pushed him on it one time, and he said, "I promised my grandfather that I would always do it this way." And I tried to gently go, no, okay. See, it's that deep vows that become programs that kill you. See? The traditions will kill you. They imprison you. A free soul feels freely in the moment and goes, what could happen that is new? I don't live by tradition. Living by tradition is being caught in history. History sucks. Her story sucks too.
Yeah.
Both
our
our
stories.
Both our stories suck. In the moment, there's freedom. So ask yourself, ask better questions like, how could this be easier? How do I want to feel with this? What if there was an easier way? What if there's a different way? How could this be more fun? How could this feel better to me?
Mm-hmm.
You can do it with your taxes. I do. How could it feel better to deal with my taxes? That's like hardcore, if you can do it with that. But so we are the choosers of how we want to do it. Most of it is being on default programming, on automatic programming. The vast majority of humans are still operating on default automatic programming. But as we start becoming, quote, gods again, we will be starting to work in mysterious ways. We're going to do stuff that makes no sense to the old, to the left brain, to the rational brain. It's going to go, oh, you bypassed me. I go, yeah, because I got quantum access. I want to access the quantum field, the eternal all that is field. That's what all masters do. They feel it, see it, boom, there it is. It's done. We can do this too. Millions are going to be spontaneously time traveling. We're going to be materializing things. All this is going to happen. And the quickest, you have to go through your cleaning. As the cleaning comes up, the dark night is the universe lovingly going, okay. You've been suppressing this stuff for thousands of lifetimes. Time to deal with it. Come on. Your fear, embarrassment, suicidalness, hopelessness, rage, terror, all that stuff. All the stuff you've been avoiding, all, quote, the bad stuff, the knowledge of the good and evil, all the evil stuff in your basement is going to come up. It's going to suck at times because you're going to relive it. But you're going to puke it up like our caller perfectly. I'm shaking with I shouldn't be saying this to my grandma. Oh, my God. I feel awesome now. It's like a release of 20 lifetimes of crap. I have a video on YouTube. It's called 30 Seconds of Emotion or 30 Years of Pain. 30 seconds of emotion. Are you willing to speak up and get real with your emotion for 30 seconds, and you can avoid 30 years of programming?
Absolutely. Check that out. And we did do a whole show about that, but it is that time. Tobias, I love you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Love.
you. And thank you all for joining us here tonight. Actually, you know what? The best comment of the night just came in a minute ago. Where did it go? Oh, shoot. I'm trying to find it. I wanted to share it with everyone. Oh, one of our listeners is drinking a cup of pee and just shoved a capsule of cannabis up their ass and listening to us. Life is great. Woo!
We are evolving on the planet, folks. We are evolving finally.
All right, everyone, have an awesome weekend. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. That's Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. here on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Blessings and love to you all. Good night.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroys information. And religions destroy spirituality. I think there's more to know here.
What you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the money. Fairly simple thing happens to work. If you know anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.